You know, about 35 years ago, I was living in Atlanta and I was called to Ottawa, Canada to speak at a company. There was a young lady in that meeting. She was a junior clerk, but she was a troubled junior clerk. She had mental problems. She wasn't happy with what she was doing. And in different areas of her life, I suppose. And I said, you cannot escape from a prison if you don't know you're in one. And you know, like that, it caused everything to come together in her mind. She was keeping herself in a mental prison. She started to study our material. That was 35 years ago. Today, she is one of the best. We bring her to all of our top events because we want everyone to be able to know what this woman does, and she can help them. She was broke when I met her. She's a multimillionaire today. She's world famous, and now you know her.
She has been for me a true inspiration from the perspective that she has made me believe that I didn't need any particular training, any particular mindset other than open, and any particular preparation to put together a book that is very special to me at this point in my life, but also to believe that there are opportunities out there that we don't always see for ourselves, but others see for us.
I was stuck. And you know, when a car is tires are stuck in mud and you just keep spinning and spinning. That was just me. I was just spinning and spinning. And with your nurturing and your help and your mentorship, I got there. I started to understand. I even ended up having a business. By the end of the year 2021, I actually made 6 figures. From 0 to 6 figures. I didn't even know I made 6 figures. I started filing my tax return. I'm like, oh my God, I've achieved a goal. And you said, set goals that will stretch you. From coming from 0, that was a stretch. You know, that was a stretch.
We've learned a lot of things working with Peggy, and it's helped us significantly advance out of that stuckness, if that's a word, or the doldrums. So that has been very, very, very helpful.
Thanks to Peggy, I was able to gain the confidence and knowledge to pursue my dream. The best part of the process was Peggy. She's genuine, easy to work with, and always interested in what you're doing.
And I made that call. I was terrified to do it. And I'm so glad that I did, because this year has been an extraordinary year for me. And I'm so glad that I had Peggy.
Working with Peggy made me a happier person, and it also gave me more purpose in my life.
Opportunities came into my life that I never expected. To add them to a bucket list, I became 3 times international bestseller in 1 year. I got hosted in 2 international magazines, appeared on probably 8 podcasts, 6 summits. I'm so honored for all the other possibilities that have opened up to me, all the people that I have been introduced to and got to know and enjoy. It's been such a blessing. If you want to make a change in your life, your business, check out Peggy McColl.
I'm a better person. I have a better attitude. I'm happier. I'm healthier. All of the things of my life have improved. And you can't even put a price on that. So how much are you worth? How much are you willing to invest in yourself? Not just for the money, but for the time and the effort and the focus that it takes to learn the material and implement it into yourself and to practice this in your life.
And I asked Peggy to mentor me. I believe that, you know, when you want to do something, you need to find someone who has already done what you wanted to achieve and follow their footsteps. And, you know, she really guided me the whole way. And I remember, you know, her and I doing Skype sessions like early in the morning, and, you know, helping me really get structure around my book and just to get it going. And then, you know, once the book was completed, she, you know, told me how to get it out to the market through like publishing and the editing process, and then, you know, also how to become a bestseller. That was my goal, is I wanted my book to become a bestseller. So she really works with you every step of the way. She's one of the most genuine, caring, authentic people I've ever met. always has a smile, so giving and so passionate about having others. So I can't say enough about her. She's just a wonderful person, and I'm forever grateful that I've had the pleasure of meeting her and also working with her.
We started working together 4 months. 4 months to the date, I became an international best-selling author.
One of the first things that happened, it wasn't a couple of weeks, and Freya got a very large donation from somebody that we had never heard the name of. This is somebody that knew Bob Ensman in the 90s. Now, we've known Bob Ensman for 40 years, never heard of this man. This was just out of the blue. He came and gave us a very large donation. And
Peggy is fast like the wind, make everything so easy and simple for you. She moves things forward. She is really a doer. Learning from Peggy will shortcut your way to your results. Thank you so much, Peggy, for this amazing experience.
That thing that I wanted so badly, within 3 weeks, I received it, something that I would have taken me years, because I don't need to know how.
I just wanted to see incredible changes, really different results. I literally quantum leaps. I really wanted to have a different life, the life that I always wanted. You will definitely see your results in your life changing massively. But you will have to implement everything she is teaching you. You do that? Done.
I've become a better person. I'm not this angry person anymore. I've become a better mom, a better wife, a better sister, a better daughter. I'm just an all-round better person.
I realized the real important parts I need to install a real successful life in abundance. And so Peggy is the one who can really bring you to the point to be a great coach and to support others and to do it with love and gratitude.
Just do it. You won't regret it. I promise.
I love saying what I'm going to do that month and then having to show up 4 weeks later and say what I did. Mm-hmm. So I think that's wonderful. That type of accountability, people need that. All people need that. And we love it. And we have gotten so much from it. And, you know, we have attracted so many good things into our life this year. We were able to actually attract enough money into our lives that we joined another very expensive program of Peggy's. And now I am actually coaching one of her programs for students. And I have combined it with real estate so that I have real estate and mindset together. And this is just phenomenal. And it is really taking off. So I love it.
Every step along the way, as I was questioning things for myself and as I was expanding my thoughts, she would always bring me back to the potential within myself. And it made my year just really quite extraordinary.
Being under the guidance of Peggy and her incredible hunger to draw out the best in me was the catalyst and biggest reason behind my success story. Peggy is super personable and her passion for serving others comes oozing out of her every being.
I approached Peggy. I did not care how much her coaching was. I had made that decision. I needed to do this. And boy, am I so grateful to Peggy, and I'm so grateful to myself, first of all, for making that decision and, asking Peggy to coach me. So Peggy stood by my side for the next 7 days. She was there whenever I needed her. She just gave me what I needed. She gave me all of the information. She pushed me forward when I needed that little bit of a kick. And 7 days after, we had a book.
I feel like it would probably take me years to try to, research. And here was packaged what information. I mean, my mind was spinning of information just because there's so much. And it was, I think practical is the word.
But I can truly say that the day I met you, my life changed. Because with your expert guidance and mentorship, I was able to take something I had a passion for and turn it into success.
I met Peggy a year ago, and it has been a wonderful journey with this astounding lady who has taught me that the world is definitely a smaller place.
I also realized that I needed to stop trying to understand how to get everything done myself and just let the universe take it as I set the goals. And I learned about Power Life script, and I do that, and I listen to that every night. I can't even count the numbers of things that have happened that I did not have any control over. It's been incredible for both myself as an author and for Freya as our company.
I can tell you that she has helped me see things that I didn't know were there. Very simple, subtle things that made all the difference in the world.
Possibilities and seeing, wow, this is so possible. And it's not as hard because she talks a lot about getting out of our way.
I was able to write my first book, which quickly became an international bestseller. Yep. Thank you, Peggy. You're an amazing, amazing, amazing lady.
I relocated to the United Kingdom. I visualized the kind of home that I want before relocating. I don't even know I'm going to get the money. I just said, okay, this is what I want. I just need to visualize. I do that all the time. I have famemates. I move around as if I'm already living in that house. And eventually, when I move into that my dream home, I was like, wow, life is good. You know, sometimes I would just think about if I didn't make that decision at that time, where would I have been?
Peggy immediately became my personal mentor and coach, and by applying her methods, my book Transforming Vibes, Transforming Lives became a bestseller. Then Peggy encouraged me to continue to create online programs using the main topic of my book, frequencies. Now my income has quadrupled in 20 months, and my programs and soundtracks are being used to help people with depression, Parkinson, and dementia, and tested in medical trials in several countries in Scandinavia. What I enjoy the most working with Peggy is feeling her dedication, passion, and love in every step of the way as we work together to make all my dreams come true.
It is worth jumping in both feet. You will never regret it. She over-delivers on everything that she talks about. That's the one thing I really love about Peggy. She really over-delivers. So jump in, enjoy.
If you are looking for the best and helping to develop your best you so that you can skip levels effortlessly, then you're in the right place. Because that's who Peggy is. She is that, literally. And she's so disciplined. Her years of focus has helped her to hone in on things and basically push out the paradigms that are in the way to help you express that true version of you, which was meant to be expressed into this world.
It is by far the most valuable thing I have ever done, and one of the biggest reasons as to why I today have a global company with about 15 people on my team, but that's not an accident. It's through mentorship that has made that happen. And she will do the same and more for you.
Thank you so much for being in my life, and thank you so much for opening the doors and the floodgates to being this new person that I love being.
If you're out there and you're looking to maybe make your life better, make more money, be healthy, what kind of changes would you like to have in your life to make your life more like what you'd love it to be? I wouldn't hesitate to invest in yourself, because I'm a different person now than I was just 6 months ago.
Better yourself, give it a chance, go for it. What do you have to lose? Remember, the best investment is in yourself. You're going to reap the benefits of this over and over and over again. That's the case for us, and so we ask you to do the same thing. Good luck. Go for it.
I would think no longer. Stop procrastinating and make the best decision of your life, just like I did.
She is no doubt the best coach. And if you ever have a slight doubt to go ahead with this, to proceed, just do it. Just make the decision and do it. You'll feel so much better about yourself.
I have received from her immeasurable gifts, love, support, encouragement, and knowledge. This woman is, once upon a time we used to have encyclopedias, they don't exist anymore, but if you could take Google and you could funnel it into one human, this woman is the Google.
Don't wait till one day. There's no point in waiting. The time is now. If you are serious, if you are ready to take your life in the next direction, then this program is for you.
So make sure you get to work with Peggy. Your future self Well, thank you. And I'm grateful on your behalf because I know how much you'll get out of it.
Welcome, everyone. We are delighted to be with you. We do have Laddie with us here today as well. We're going to be bringing her on in a little bit. I'll be calling her on. So we're going to dive right in. We've got 2 hours together today, and it will be a wonderful, value-filled 2 hours for you. If you're on here a little early and you watched the video that Roddy shared with you in the beginning, we received many testimonials from people, and I don't always see them all. And I had asked the team if they'd be willing to put them together and share some of them with you. And it ended up being hours and hours and hours of testimonials of people that have accomplished amazing things. But here's the point that I want to really share with you about the things that others have done by following direction. The one thing to keep in mind is I can't take credit for their accomplishments. Like we saw Michelle, who's on the call right now with us, and Michelle had said these words. She said, I'm a different person today to who I was even 6 months ago. And Michelle's daughter, Holly, is also on this call. And Holly typed in the chat box, I saw this flash by my screen a little earlier, the Google of Unlocking Personal Destinies. That's Peggy. But Holly, another serious student. Why has Michelle transformed her life? Why is Holly such a serious student? Because of desire. They have what's very natural, which is not unique. It's within every single person is desire. And if you came here today with the hope that you're going to gain some more information, well, you're in the right place. And I don't say that out of a place of ego, not at all. In fact, what I'm sharing with you is like the messages that you saw earlier, is that what I have learned from 44 serious years of study is that you can shave off years of your life or years of time of investing into trying to get answers when somebody already has it. Like, what a great way to go. So we're going to talk about that today. I've got a presentation ready for you, and I'm going to immediately start sharing and diving right in. So we called this event the Implementation Age for a very, very good reason. Roddy had suggested that you get a pen and a paper ready. I suggest the same. I also suggest that I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to ask you for a favor, if you will. And I'm just going to stop the screen share here for a moment. We have put together this presentation, as you know, and we're here with you for 2 solid hours. And we're going to give you the best of what we've got as it relates to this subject. And what I'd love to ask for you to do, if you're willing, is give us your undivided time. I know not everybody could be here live on the event, but we've got quite a few people here right now. And I'd like to ask if you're willing to commit to really be here and to stay with us. And we're going to reward you for doing so as well. We're going to reward you with the content. And then we've got the bonus that we're going to give you also at the end of the event. But would you be willing to do that for me? Just simply give me your attention and be open and willing to learn and receive. Yes, thank you. And look at that. Connie, who was in the video, wrote yes first. I love that, Connie. Thank you so much. And all of you that are responding, yes, 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 of course. Thank you, Eva. I appreciate that. I'm in, of course. Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. It really means a lot to me. Now, obviously, we can't have these events unless you're here. So we do take your time very seriously. We know how precious time is, but I absolutely know what's being shared, what we share with our clients, what we share with the world is only of value. That's what we're here for. We're here to uplift. We're here to show you the way, to guide you the way. And also, if we look at, if you watch that entire video, because I know a number of you were here right from the beginning, and for those of you that didn't see the video, we'll play it again at the end. But there were a number of people that we've been blessed to serve over the years who were talking about the accomplishments and the things that they've done and how their lives have transformed and how their life became significantly better and how they, either tripled their revenue, as we saw with Dr. Yusi, or accomplished other things, felt more confident, felt that freedom, started to experience the freedom. I've got some others that I'll share with you in this event. And every single one of them took action. Every single one of them. They invested in themselves, not me, not in my programs, yes, but they invested in themselves and took action. And thank you. And because of that, they experienced results. And so this is why, I'm here today. It's because of the action, and I'm a real action taker. And I'm quite certain that is one of the reasons why Bob Proctor and I were such good friends, because so was he. He was absolutely an action taker. And so we're going to be talking about action today and just how important that is in the accomplishment of anything, even if you don't know what to do. Yesterday, when we were studying in our membership club called Club Achieve, this statement was brought up. It's a statement that was written in the book called The Secret of the Ages by Robert Collier. And he was just quoting this quote, "Ye shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free." And I decided to add a slide in our presentation today about that. Why? Because I'm going to share with you the truth of how you can transform your life, how you can turn your financial situation around if that's something that you'd like to do, how you can attract your soulmate if that's something you'd like to do, how you can buy your dream home if that's something you'd like to do, how you could write a best-selling book or several, or create programs or create success for yourself, multiple sources of income, whatever it is that you want to do or accomplish or experience in your life, we can show you. And it doesn't matter what it is, because the truth is, the absolute truth is, every single one of you has the power to accomplish anything that you desire. You all have the power. If you can think it, you can do it. You very likely heard that statement before, but I want you to really know that, because that's the truth about you. I remember the first time I heard that statement, that if I can think it, I can do it. And I thought, oh, really? Anything? And now I've come to know it's true. Now, that was in the early days of studying, but it's absolutely the truth. Now, this statement, your future depends on what you do today. I'm not only talking about what you're going to do in the next 2 hours while you're here with us. I'm talking about everything that you're doing today. Everything that you're doing today is going to, or is making an impact on your future. I don't think people really realize that. You may want to write that down. My future depends on what I do today. My future depends on what I do today. Now, if we take that even deeper, your future is going to depend on how you feel today. There's another truth right there. Your future is going to depend on what you feel today. Now, our goal at our business and Dynamic Destinies is to help you create success, to put you on a new trajectory, to put you on a trajectory for phenomenal results, because that's what we would love for you. And that's what's possible for you as well. Now, yes, we will talk about different things that you can do with us, and we can show you the way, and that'll change your future as well. But you know what I've seen, and I've observed this a lot in the last while, a lot of people are showing up online and they're claiming to be success experts or coaches or whatever, and yet they haven't accomplished anything. And so they may have some knowledge, sure, they may have some knowledge of what does it take to succeed, but do they really understand it? Have they applied it? Have they been experiencing the success? See, it's important that if you want to put something together, which is your life, which is like a puzzle, you want to have the right pieces. You want to put the right pieces together. So you've got to know that you have or are learning the right pieces in order to create success. Otherwise, you end up just struggling, or, as the expression goes, spinning your wheels. And in the video that we showed as well earlier, before we even started the event, one of our lovely clients, a woman that we all love and appreciate, a lovely woman by the name of Neka, who lives in England. And she was saying that before she joined our program, Skipping Levels, she was just spinning her wheels and spinning her wheels. And you know, a lot of people are doing that as well. And they sometimes feel like they're going nowhere, or sometimes they feel like they can never get ahead. They're just never able to get ahead. Have you ever felt that? Or are you feeling it now? Yeah, maybe. Like, let's be honest. Now, it's not a judgment whether you have or you're not. I mean, there were many times in my life where I was spinning my wheels and felt like I wasn't getting further ahead either. Now, what happens when people get to that point where they're spinning their wheels and they don't feel like they're getting ahead? They're either going to do one of two things. They're either going to retreat and say, forget it, and throw their arms up in the air, or they're going to do something about it. Do something about it. Now, the ones that are going to create success, they're the ones that are going to do what? Either retreat or do something about it. Answer in the chat box. Are they retreating or are they doing something about it? Type in the chat box right there. Yeah, they're doing something. They're taking action. Right on. Yes, they're doing the thing. Don says yes. Absolutely. Doing something about it. and not just anything. And this is another challenge that I see with the pieces that people are bringing together. They think if I just do something, and that's fine, but you know what? We all have 24 hours a day. That's it. No more, no less. I don't get 26. Roddy doesn't get 29. We each get 24. That's it. That's all. And so how are you utilizing your time to produce the maximum results? This is what I want you to be thinking about. Am I utilizing my time every single day to produce the maximum results? And if the answer is no, or perhaps hell no, which is just honest, right? That means you have an opportunity. What? To use your time more effectively. This is something else that we teach in Skipping Levels, how to effectively use your time. You want to be effectively using your time so that you're producing the results, so that you're not wasting time, so that you're accelerating the results as well. So what I'm going to share today is really what I absolutely know wholeheartedly with every ounce of my being, that this, what we're talking about today, is the game changer. This is it. And there's a huge upside to what we're talking about here too. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you're born, where you're raised, what your education is, what your education is not. Anybody can do this. What's this, Peggy? Create success is what this is. So is that what you want? Are you here because you'd like to make a positive change in your life? Type in the chat box, okay? I want to see, is that what you'd really love? Yes, okay, of course. Yay, all right, good, absolutely, yahoo! All right, we're getting there, good. Here to grow, I love it. What a great attitude. Yes, time and money freedom, perfect. Results is what Sid's looking for, perfect. Robert, to make my best life, love it. Are you really ready for that, Robert? Yes, okay. Good stuff. Okay, Jeanette's here. She's part of our Skipping Levels program as well. Beautiful. Okay. Well, this is where I want to give you some guidance. And you know, we have people here. Tootie's here. She says, I'm here to shine. Tootie is this lovely being. If any of you ever have a chance to meet the lovely Tootie, she is just a ray of sunshine, that woman. And Tootie has moved into action. She joined our program. She joined MSI Entrepreneur, and now she's a private mentoring client of mine. So I've gotten to know her better and giving her guidance. Just this morning, early this morning, I was reviewing her Power Life script and sent her back some suggestions, which I only do with the private mentoring clients or with our clients in our Skipping Levels program. And so why am I mentioning these? I saw Leanne Reynolds flash by my screen as well, Connie flashing by the screen. There's many people that are here that I know are real action takers. They've made a decision that they are going to improve their lives in any way and every way that they possibly can, and they are committed. Tessie is here as well, another lovely success-oriented woman who is committed, completely committed to her success. So that's what you have to be. You have to be committed to it. But being committed to success is not a difficult thing. It's not something that's going to be laborious. It's actually fun and rewarding and fulfilling, because that's the way you can choose to look at it. And that's the way it then becomes. Now, I created something brand new for you guys, something brand new. This idea popped in my consciousness very recently, and I decided I was going to create this program called Embodying Prosperity. And so what I did was I put together, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. We're going to give it to you a little bit later, because we absolutely are looking to have you stick with us. So this is what the page looks like for the program. So there's a lesson there that I recorded. It's 33 minutes long. We've got some support tools for you as well, daily checklist and a daily affirmation. And then we have the instructional audio and the embodying audio prosperity that is suggested that you listen to it every single day. And this was designed to help you experience more prosperity. And so it was created. It's absolutely going to be a program that we will be offering to the world. But you, because you're here, and right now, I believe I saw we had 210 people on right now, you're all going to get it. Now we're going to reward you at the end of the call. So you have to stay here for the call in order to get it. But that's what life is like. I like that, Heidi. She raised her arms up in the air. I like that. She's enthused, right? But that's what life is like, right? Where are the rewards? The rewards are when we take the action. What's the action? You're here. You're paying attention. I'm going to reward you. Well, you're getting rewarded along the way anyways, so we're going to reward you. Now, there are going to be some people that are saying, I couldn't get on the live call. I'm watching the replay. You know, we made a commitment. You get on the live call, you get Embodying Prosperity. If you don't get on the live call, you don't get Embodying Prosperity. Do you realize that life is like that? You know, a lot of people stand on the sidelines and they go, well, wait a minute. I want to get the goal. Well, you're not in the game. You're not even playing the game. So unless you're on the field and playing the game, that's where the rewards are. And so we're looking forward to rewarding you at the conclusion. Roddy's going to be putting a link right in the chat box for you to click on, and then you'll open it. And what I suggest that you do is bookmark it so that you can review it a little bit later. Now, also, when you saw the video at the beginning of the call, or you'll see it again at the end, and we had a number of our clients that have shared their success and their progress. They're all clients. They're all clients of mine. They either took one of my programs or they were privately mentored by me. And so today we've decided to open up only a few spots for private mentoring again. Now, we did that at the end of December, the beginning of January. We opened up just a few spots to get the year kicked off. Tootie was one of them. She took advantage of it. We're going to do it again for February. Like, I have personally loved helping these people. And not only that, I work with one lovely lady. I'm not even sure she's on the call right now. She may be. And she made a commitment that she was going to get a 30-day program done in the 30 days that we were working together. And you know what? We still have 2 more calls. She's already done 27 days. She only has 3 more days to go. You see, that's the difference when you have accountability. It's important to have accountability, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we call this event the industrial age, or pardon me, we call this the implementation age. And when you think about in history, you know, many, many years ago, probably about 100 years ago, it was the industrial age. And that was when industry was really popping up all over the place. And then we moved into the information age. It was information everywhere. And the World Wide Web really opened up the information age as well. And that's great. And information can be helpful and it can be valuable, but not until or unless it is utilized. So you've got to implement the information. It's not enough to just have the information. Matter of fact, having the information and not doing anything about it is almost criminal, in my opinion. So we're calling this, we, meaning me and Dynamic Destinies, we're calling this time the implementation age. You know, the other day I was blessed to have a conversation with Al Proctor, and Al Proctor is Bob Proctor's brother. And Al and I hadn't chatted for a little while, and we got on the phone, and he was telling me that he is writing a book about when he and Bob started in the seminar business, which was a long time ago. And I remember because I was a student in the class when Bob started his seminar business, or a few years after he started his business. And I remember Al said this during our phone conversation. He said it was really difficult to start a business at that time. And I said, why? And he said, because the only way to get people's attention was through advertising, like newspaper, magazine, billboards, you know, television, radio, and things like that. And he said, nowadays, you know, people have the internet and they can just simply use the internet to reach people. And I agree to some degree, you know, that the internet definitely makes it quicker or accessible to the 5 billion people. There's over 8 billion on the planet, but the 5 billion people that are online, it certainly creates a greater opportunity for that. And I think it's just different. I think it's very different today. But at the end of the day, and I see this all the time with infopreneurs, you know, people that want to run their own business. They want to have the freedom to do what they want, when they want, with whoever they want. And anybody can do it. And that's one of the wonderful, beautiful things about the internet, is that the only prerequisite to set up your business online or set up your site online is desire. I mean, that's it. You want to run a business online? Anybody can just boop, put their flag in the ground and off they go, and they can start their business for sure. And so it's just a different world. So if anyone wants to create success online, we can help with that as well, because that's what I've been doing with my business over 2.5 decades. But implementation is really important. You've heard some stories of authors that I've worked with. I'll share some stories today. That only happened because they implemented. I decided to write my first book. That only happened because I implemented. I wrote my 21st book recently, and that only happened because I've implemented. But here's something I want you to understand is that a lot of people don't implement, or they don't bother doing anything, or they don't bother starting anything because they think that all the conditions have to be perfect in order for them to do that. And if you keep waiting for the perfect conditions, what's going to happen? Time is just going to flash by. Opportunity is going to go by, and you may never do it. Never, ever, ever do it. Now is the time. If you're thinking, I'm going to do this, and if you're thinking that it's going to be just, a perfect scenario, or you're feeling the fear, just go for it anyway. And we heard that as well. We heard many, many people in the testimonial video, which we'll show you later. We heard from many, many people who felt the fear. And it's like Susanna from Australia that I was blessed to work with in a private mentoring capacity. She said, I didn't even ask her how much it was. It was just like, I'm doing it. Let's make it happen. And we did. And Angie Tumlinson, who was a private mentoring client of mine, she said in her video, she said, I was afraid. I didn't know, where am I going to get the money from? She said, I just decided I'm doing it. And she found the funds. She found a way. That's the way it works. You make a decision, you're going to do something, and you find the way. You put things into motion. You demonstrate to the universe that you're serious about this. And when you move into action, what happens? What happens? Well, as you're moving, the universe is responding, right? So just imagine that I have a giant magnet in my hand. I have one over in my drawer. I should have pulled it out. I have a giant magnet in my hand. And in my other hand, I have some metal filings. Now, you would know that if I bring that metal or the magnet over to the metal filings, it's going to pick them up, right? But if I sit here with the metal filings here and I've got the magnet here and I do nothing, are they going to come together? Will they come together? No. Why not? No movement has happened, right? Nothing has happened. Movement has to occur in order for things to happen. You can't sit back, close your eyes, and hope or pray, oh God, please, please, please send it to me right now. Not going to happen. It doesn't happen that way. Now you can pray, but you can pray effectively with a prayer of thanks. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm relaxed knowing that it's true. That's an effective way to prayer, but then you move your feet. It's like the statement that's right in the Bible, or the Quakers that said it as well. Pray and move your feet. Move your feet. Now, here's what some people ask me sometimes. They say, I don't know what action to take. I understand that you don't have to know how you're going to accomplish the goal, and I don't know what action to take. Listen, doing research is action. When you're investing in yourself and you're taking a program and expanding your mind, because your mindset is critical for your success, that is action. When you're setting intentions every day, that is action. When you're choosing to utilize your time during the day to feel in harmony with the goods that you desire, perhaps listening to your Power Life script, getting on calls like this is action. And all of these action steps are saying to the universe a very clear message. She or he or they are serious. They're serious about these results, and they have every intention to accomplish it. And you're going to create magic. It's like that statement that says, magic is the opposite of life. With magic, when you know how it works, the magic disappears. But with life, when you know how it works, the magic begins. That's what we're here to show you, is how to create magic in your life, or what some people might call magic. But when you start accomplishing things in regularity and you start noticing what's going on, what happens? You become a greater version of who you already are. It's like when Michelle said in the video, and Michelle's on here right now, Michelle said, I'm not the same person today that I was 6 months ago. That woman was in there. We just brought her out. And we're going to continue to bring out a greater and grander version of Michelle and Holly and everybody else who's in our programs. That person, that genius, that incredible being, that manifestor, that goal achiever is in you. That person is already in you. It's just an opportunity to bring her out. And as you stretch yourself and as you grow, you're going to reap the rewards as a result. So the big benefit, as you know, is not for what you get from taking your action. It truly is who you become in the process. Now let's look at this. what did I put here on this screen? These are comments from my report card. Could be attentive, could participate and be more cooperative, inattentive, careless. Peggy's project work is incomplete. Oh, there's well done on there. I'm not sure which class that was, but I could probably find it. Not always prepared for class, must be more attentive. Okay, so what are we looking at here? And why, Peggy, are you showing me your report card? Well, I've got a whole stack of them here, actually. I have a stack of my report cards right here, starting from grade 1. And you know what? It doesn't get better. It actually gets worse. I didn't like school. I wasn't enjoying school. Now, our paradigms are created at a very young age. But why I wanted to pull out these report cards and show you some of the marks, like here's some marks from grade 10, 51. Oh, this one's funny. 1 out of 100. I swear to you, that's actually on here. I got 1 out of 100 in one of my classes. 54, 66, 53, 61, 60, and 54. Those are my marks. Did we hear any 80s, 90s? I don't think we heard a 70 in there. Not even a 70 mark in there. So why are you showing us your report cards, Peggy? Well, because it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your education is. It doesn't matter how well you did or didn't do in school. Now, I'm not saying to the kids, don't do well in school. It definitely will serve you to do well in school. But a lot of people think that the ones that have created success had all the conditions ideal. They were perfect. Oh, they were smart. Oh, their parents must have been entrepreneurs, or they had money, or they were given money to start their business. Not in my case. My father was a janitor. My mother was a clerk in a grocery store. Nothing wrong with those jobs. They're wonderful jobs. And they weren't the only jobs. My mom had worked in a factory for most of her life, and my father had many jobs. He was driving a bus. He was managing a convenience store at one point. He drove a big tanker, a big Shell tanker delivering gas. I mean, he had a wide variety of jobs over the years. But the last job that he had when I was getting older, an adult, was that he was a janitor. That was his job. And he used to call himself the Nightmare because he used to clean the city hall. And so he had a sign made, Nightmare. And he was a fun guy and very, very spirited, of course. But the whole idea behind this is really to show you that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you've done or what you haven't done. This is the home, the actual home that I was raised in. It's about 600 square feet. And that's my picture from my yearbook from high school. And I was the youngest of 4 kids. So 6 of us lived in this home. It was 2 bedrooms. And I was the youngest, and I had ripped clothes. My parents couldn't afford to buy us really nice things. And if I asked for something, look out, because I was screamed at. So when you're screamed at, when you ask for something, what do? What do kids do? They stop asking. They literally stop asking. Why? Out of fear. Right? And then they build a belief that it's not possible. But then I happened to meet a wonderful man, and that's when everything changed. So I was poor. I was all consumed in debt. I'd come from a dysfunctional family. I was quite miserable. I wouldn't have even liked myself. I was suicidal for a time period. I was going from bad relationship to bad relationship. But I turned my life around. Why? Implementation. We're here to talk about action, right? Where does the action start? You decide. You make a decision you're going to do that. We're going to bring on Vladdy in a little while, and we're going to talk about decision. Not yet, but soon. So now I've created a wonderful life, a really wonderful life. And every part of my life is wonderful as well. You know, from the relationship that I have, the financial situation, the accomplishments that I've made, you know, the many programs. I don't even know how many programs I've created over the years, the coaching division that I've established, the Power Life Script program that I've created as a worldwide renowned tool that's the most powerful technique for manifesting your every desire. Here's where my books are, 21 of them so far, 18 of them are in the fiction or nonfiction category, 3 in the fiction category. But every time you think about doing something, anything that you'd like to do in your life, understand that the conditions will likely not be ideal, but you go for it anyway. Even when you have people who tell you it can't be done, or you can't do it, or you're not in the right place. If you've got the desire, you've got the ability to accomplish it. You've got to write your own destiny ticket. This was an article that was placed in a business magazine a number of years ago when I had released my first book. And there were a number of stories that were done. Ottawa speaker writes her own destiny ticket. Now, that only happened because of action. Same thing with Bob. You know, all the things, all the time that I was blessed to enjoy with him, the friendship that I had with him, hanging out with him at his kitchen table. And 2 of these pictures were taken within a very short period of time of his passing. As a matter of fact, one of the pictures in the middle with the red jacket, Bob's actually sitting on a little push thing, not a stroller. What's the word? Not a wheelchair, but a walker. It's a walker. And I was at his home, he and Linda, for dinner at Christmas, January 2021, and he passed away just over a month after that. And, you know, I share this with you because I honestly believe that why Bob and I were kindred spirits of sorts is because we're both action takers. And we would take action even if we, you know, didn't know exactly how everything was going to unfold, or we felt the fear, we went for it anyway and did it anyway. And it's the same thing for anyone who's had the courage, and I'll use that word very lovingly, to make a decision to step forward into success. It's like how I attracted my husband into my life. You know, I just made a decision that it was time for me to attract my soulmate into my life. So I wrote out a description, what that relationship would feel like and be like. I took my dog for a walk one day. There was a dog on his front lawn. Our dogs met each other. So did we. And as we know, the rest is history. But that didn't happen by accident. That happened on purpose. That happened because it was a very clear intention. It's because I got in harmony with the result that I wanted, and therefore I created the result that I wanted. Now, what if I could show you the easy way to success? Would you be interested? I want to know. Type in the chat box. Would you be interested in knowing the easy way, or do you want the hard way? Yes? Okay. I'm curious to see if anybody wants the hard way. There is no easy way. Who said that? Oh, I got to go up the screen here to find that one. Ah, okay. So somebody says there is no easy way. There's absolutely an easy way. The Peggy way. I like that. Easy way, please. Good. There's definitely an easy way. As a matter of fact, I wrote a book about the easy way. And it's not something that we're necessarily promoting today, but it's called Darn Easy, Work Half as Hard, Earn Twice as Much While Living the Life of Your Dreams. And, you know, I wrote that with my good friend, Brian Proctor, who I had obviously met through Bob's organization. But the truth is, whether it's easy or hard, it's up to you. You get to decide. If you think it's hard, you're right. If you think it's easy, you're right. So I would suggest that you definitely look at accomplishment as easy. Yeah, work smarter, not harder. It's about effective work. It's about productivity. It's about being in an accomplishment mode. And I'll share some statistics with you very soon sorry, someone's looking for the link for Darn Easy. Michelle, send me an email with your address. I think I have an extra copy here. I can send it to you. Okay. All right, let's go back. Expect it to be easy. Yes, Tootie, you're absolutely right. Expect it to be easy. I want to talk to you about how it can be easy for you. I'll tell you how it was easy for me. There's 2 reasons why I created greater ease for myself. And one of the reasons is because I recognized that I was in my own way, because the power is within all of you. Every one of you has the power to accomplish great things, but you're all in your own way. Everybody is. It's not a criticism or a critique. It just is what it is. Now, how are we in our own way? We're in our own way based on our beliefs. So what I did was the implementation. What I did was I invested in Bob's programs. And I didn't go once. I went over and over and over and over again, kind of like Connie and Alan, who are on this call. These are serious students here. Michelle and her family, serious students here. They invest over and over and over again. I really believe that if you think you've got it all figured out, you're in a dangerous place, because I don't think anybody ever does. I'll never stop studying. I love studying. Why? Because your consciousness constantly expands. You're always evolving. And as a human being, we're going to want more. It's a natural instinct. It's a natural desire to want more. You have to understand that. So I made a decision. There's a reason why it was easy. made the decision that it would be easy, made a decision to invest in myself, which I went into all Bob's programs, and then hired a mentor. You see, hiring a mentor is where everything took my results to a whole new level. Why? Because they can tell you specifically. It's like when Tootie and I got on a call together, we're talking about Tootie. We're talking about Tootie's desires. We're talking about where Tootie's in her way. She sent me her Power Life script. I reviewed it. So that can absolutely not only potentially shave off years of your time, but it can help you get to where you want to go. You may not ever get there if you don't have anyone to work with or any guidance to guide you to get to where you want to go. It is so incredibly valuable, absolutely valuable to do that. So those are the reasons, or that's the way to create greater ease. But here's some examples of some blocks that many people have. They don't believe that it can be done. Or here's a good one. They've tried it before and failed. Any of you relate to that one? Probably. I know. I had that experience for a very, very brief period of time. I thought, oh, this stuff doesn't work. I mean, I was frustrated only to realize it wasn't the stuff at all. It was me not implementing effectively. Now we're going back about 30 years now. But when I realized that I wasn't effectively implementing the way I could or would, that's when everything changed. And I really believe that's where we come in. Not only do we give this simplistic understanding, but we talk about the steps. What do you need to do, right? What do you need to do? Or people don't think that they've got the ability to do it. I told my parents I was writing a book. They're like, you? I started creating courses and delivering courses. You know, even in the beginning, you might feel a little uncomfortable with this and you may have some doubt, or you might have a lot of doubt. But can you learn it? Yeah, absolutely. This is where we come in. I work with so many people helping them create programs. Think about if you were on it early and you saw that little video with Dr. Yusi. You know, Dr. Yusi was a medical doctor. He had, thought about writing a book. Not only did he get his book done and bring it out there and make it an international bestseller, I said, Dr. Yusi, you've got so much more value to share with other people. How about creating a course? And he's like, okay, but I've never done that before. Will you show me? Yes. And he was a private mentoring with me for a year, tripled his income. Or some people look at what others have done and think, oh, well, that's easy for them. Or yeah, they probably had the right conditions and they think, oh, that's just too good to be true. No, it's not. Anybody can do it. Or they fear change or fear failure or fear something. And fear is definitely a debilitator. It is an emotion that will hold you back unless you recognize it and you just decide you're blasting through it anyways. I remember reading a book back in the 1980s called Feel the Fear and Go For It Anyway. And I think the message is in that title, Feel the Fear and Go For It Anyway. I felt fear many times. When we were looking at the slide a moment ago with the photos of me with Bob Proctor, and there's a couple of photos there where I was on stage with him. And I remember feeling fearful before going on stage and thinking I just wanted to be sick to my stomach. And I thought, I'm doing it anyway. I'm here for a reason. I've got a message to share and I'm just going to get past that fear. And that's what you do. You follow through on strategies that will help you overcome the fear and you turn it into courage. You turn it into faith. Or they have conflict. They want the change, but feel they might be betraying themselves. Say, I really should stick with this and something that's not working. Or the timing, well, it's not now, maybe later or whatever. What happens? They never do it, right? They're missing the boat. They're missing the opportunity. The clock's just flipping by and time is passing. You got to understand when those blocks show up, they're only paradigms trying to hold you back. You can overcome them, and you overcome them with action. Now, what if we were to show you, or I was to show you, a simple solution that will show you how to get from point A to point B without going all over the place, or perhaps even not ending there? I don't even need to ask this question. I know the answer is yes, right? Of course you want the simple solution. Nobody wants to be floundering out there in the world and going around in circles and spinning their wheels. But why is it that so many people do it? Why is it that they do that? I believe the reason why people just constantly struggle is because they're either unaware or they're afraid or they're seeking answers, don't have them. They don't have the right support system. You want to have the right support system. There's no reason why you have to be alone. Yeah, you may do it alone, but you don't have to do it by yourself. You can get the right guidance, the proper guidance that's going to take you to where you want to go in the easiest way possible, where you'll find yourself along the extra mile. And that extra mile is truly the only place you want to be. Why? Because that's where the results are. That's where the rewards are. So you have to choose it. You have to choose, I'm getting on the extra mile. I am choosing to be in the top income earners in the world. But that starts with that. It starts with a choice that you decide that you're going to be on the extra mile. Yes? Okay, good. A number of you are typing in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. You're ready for the extra mile. I'm going the extra mile, says Yolanda. Perfect. Okay, good. I choose that. Yes, Connie, you're definitely on that extra mile there. Perfect. Okay, here we come. All right, the best. Oh, yes, Dawn, you're so right about that. Born ready, says Tessia. That's what I always say. You know, Dawn had written the best is yet to come. I want you to think about that. I want you all to think about that, assuming that the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. That potential is already there. There's nobody here that it's not for, every single one of you. But where are most people? Struggling, continuing to, doing nothing about it. You know, we made this seminar available for anybody that was on our email list, and we have tens of thousands of people that are on our database. How many show up? There's 228 people here right now. You're already on the extra mile by being here. That's part of the extra mile. Investing in yourself is on the extra mile. Moving into action is on the extra mile as well. You do that and you're already separating yourself from the rest, but you want to stay on the extra mile as well. And that really takes the choice to stay there. So if we think about the choices that you have, you can go to failure or you can go to success. Now, if we go right, it's devastation, it's hardship, it's a dead end, it's frustration. But if you go left, which is success, you're going to experience happiness, only desirable results, recognize the unlimited possibilities, and even greater success is what you will experience. Is it as simple as that? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is as simple as that. Simply making a decision. It's time. It's absolutely time. I'm seeing that more and more in the comment section. And there's also a way to accelerate your results. There's absolutely a way to accelerate your results. And this will shave off, I mean, it's really going to save you a huge amount of time. But I don't really believe anyone is meant to struggle or should struggle any more than they already are. It does not have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. But unless you have the desire to change it, which I believe all of you do, and you've definitely been expressing that in the comments section in the right-hand side of the screen, you've got to have the desire and you have to make the commitment that you're going to create these results and then follow instruction. You follow along the guidelines of what's really required to create success. That's the reason why I created Skipping Levels. Like, I created Skipping Levels as a program because I had experienced quantum leaps in my own life. And I really, truly know and believe that many other people would love to be experiencing them in their life as well. Jeanette said, I'm committed. She is committed. She's in Skipping Levels. She made a decision to join Skipping Levels. She's one of our newest members in Skipping Levels. That is how you can accelerate your results, by following through. This is the most life-changing material that I believe that I've ever created. And Vladdy's going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit. We're going to bring her back on. But this really is game changer stuff that we're talking about here today. I was like bursting at the seams to get on this call today because I could not wait. This idea popped in my consciousness to do this event on the implementation age, because to me, it's just such an obvious thing. Just action, take action, action. Matter of fact, I have this device here on my desk that I had purchased because I was doing some events with the lovely Phil Goldfine, who is an Academy Award-winning producer, you know, one of these action, right? And think about the business that Phil's in. Like, nothing starts or nothing gets filmed until this thing goes boom, and then action, right? And what happens? Then people start to, you know, perform, right? You're performing every day. That boom action button has already gone off. It went off the day you were born. But what role are you performing? Are you performing an Academy Award-winning performance of your life? And if not, you can by stepping into that role, because it's who you are that's going to create the results in your life. It's the identity that you decide you have or that you are. And then you step into that identity. You step into it every single day. Every single day you step into it and you be the star. You be the star role in anything and everything that you're doing. You make the decisions. Every possible outcome is out there in the fourth dimension. You just got to lasso and bring it into your heart, hold it in your heart. Bob used to say, if you hold it in your head, you'll hold it in your hand, or hold it in your mind, you'll hold it in your hand. You see, head and mind are different. Mind is the consciousness. It's the conscious and the subconscious mind, which means that you hold it there. This is done. It's already accomplished. You will hold it in your hand. When I think about, these three books, Savvy Wisdom, from Beyond, Savvy Wisdom, the original, Savvy Wisdom 2, these were all just ideas in consciousness. That's where they came from. Thank you, Pemba. These were just an idea. But how did they get here? How is it that we can all, oh, thanks, Leanne, that I can hold these in my hand? I moved into action, right? You're getting the common theme here. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly, Yolanda. Move into action. Now, I had never written a fiction before. I got the idea to write a fiction book. I'd never done it before, but you know what I did? And this is what I'm talking about, accelerating your results. Here's what I did. And this is only coming from experience and from knowledge. As soon as I had the idea, I just asked myself, do I want to? Because the old paradigms were trying to pull me back. Here's what the paradigms were saying. You don't write fiction, you're a nonfiction writer. So then I just said to myself, do you want to? Yes. Okay, well, what would you love? I'd love to produce a phenomenal book. What do you need to believe in order to do that? I need to believe that not only am I capable of doing it, that I've already done it and the product is done. Okay, get on with the work. Set a date for when you're going to complete. Get your accountability buddy lined up and begin at once. And that is precisely what I did. Action, Jackson, satisfaction. Cute. All right. Yeah, and who set the rule that you can only write one, says Michelle. You're absolutely right about that. 21 later, and who knows where that's going to end. I've already been talking about the next one with my husband. So that's why it's game changer, because when you realize that, the power of having the knowledge and the understanding, and then you're in action, you'll just continue to pump out and produce amazing results. But here's the thing. A lot of people think that, oh, this is just easy street. Right? Just go from here to there and bing, bang, all done. Now, I'm not saying it's a difficult street either. This image is probably not the perfect example, but the reason why I wanted to share it with you, because as you can see, it looks like a map of some sort to get to where you want to go. And sometimes people take different routes to get to where they want to go. I want to show you the shortest route. I want to show you how to get there faster without having going through all these challenges along the way, having you to avoid all the challenges, have you take the flight to get to where you want to go so that you're not going through difficulties, mistakes, obstacles, and failures. Why? Because I've done it. I've already been there. You don't need to. You don't need to go through that. Man, I wish I was around when I was a young woman to help me. Now, I was learning from Bob, but here's where I feel that the difference is. And this is where I feel that there's great value for you. And that is, whenever I was learning any of the materials, any event that I went to, and it wasn't only Bob that I was studying anybody and everybody. If there was a speaker out there, Wayne Dyer, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, I was going to all their seminars, buying all their books, signing up for all their audio programs. I'd be burning through them every single day, like devouring books like crazy. And, I wanted to know the how. I was looking for, yes, this is fabulous information. Yes, this is valuable, life-changing information, but how do I use it? That's what I was looking for. I wanted to know, collapse time. You're right, Leanne. I wanted to know, how do I implement this? Now, I remember one time hearing this comment from Bob, and I'm going to explain it. Bob said this: if you're asking for the how, it demonstrates your ignorance. Okay? If you're asking for the how, it demonstrates your ignorance. But let's think about that. What's ignorance? Ignorance is not knowing. So was I asking how and demonstrating my ignorance? Definitely. I don't see that as a bad thing. I was hungry. I wanted to know. Why did I want to know? I wanted to know because I wanted to change my results. I want to know how to implement it. So if I was reading, oh, you got to improve your faith. It's like, okay, I get that, but how do you do it, right? How do you stop looking at debt? How do you stop feeling all consumed in debt and feel prosperity when there's nothing in the bank account, right? Anybody relate to that one? Yeah, many people can relate to that one. Absolutely. Well, that's where the how comes in. I can show you how. You've got to act as if. You've got to create the scenario in your mind that this is already done. I think about Tootie. You know, Tootie, I've mentioned a few times, the lovely Tootie. And I was reading her Power Life script this morning. And I hope Tootie doesn't mind, but it's probably too late for that because the words are coming out of my mouth. But Tootie had written about this beautiful place that she is purchasing. And in her Power Life script, she's talking about, you know, looking out the window and what she's seeing. And I was there with Tootie. I have goosebumps actually, as I'm mentioning this. I was totally there with her in imagination, right? You utilize your imagination. This is what you do. You utilize your imagination. Everybody has that ability. Some people are saying, I don't have imagination. Yeah, you do. If you're telling yourself you don't, you're blocking the flow. You're in your own way. You're in your own way. Absolutely. Tessia wrote, the Power Life script is magic. Truly, it is magic. That is, you know, one of the most significant tool I've ever used that has transformed my life for sure. And so you've got to, that's the how, is the implementation, knowing what to do, the tools to use, how to apply it every single day, how to deal with the adversity, how to deal with the challenges, how to overcome the obstacles, go through them, over them, under them, whatever it is. Everybody has obstacles. It doesn't matter who you are. And I know you can all relate to that as well. It doesn't even matter how old you are. We all have obstacles or adversity to deal with in our life at some point. It may not be there right now, but I remember watching a video of Lou Holtz, he was one of the winningest coaches of all time. And he did a video called Do Right, R-I-G-H-T. And in the video, he starts the video saying, if you don't have adversity in your life, get ready because it's coming. And I remember thinking, what the heck kind of a motivational message is that? Get ready, it's coming? That didn't sound too positive. Woohoo, adversity is coming. I mean, who really wants it? Nobody wants it. I really don't believe anybody wants to have the adversity in their life, but they desire to have a better result. You know what? And so, sorry, the chat box is so distracting for me, guys. Can you just hold off for a few minutes? I really appreciate you engaging, etc. But I just totally lost my track of mine where I was, because I'm seeing all the comments coming. Normally I can read them and speak and teach at the same time, but I've totally just lost track. We're talking about implementing a moment ago. So let's go back to, we're going to go back to our PowerPoint presentation and continue on. There we go. Okay, now we're going to dive into a little bit more of the success stories as well. Now, ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things every single day. Why does that happen? Well, that happens because they decide and they implement. Decide and they implement. That's why. Is because they're making choices every single day to do something that they've never done before, or maybe to do something better than they did before, or to produce some kind of results. But it's possible for anyone. The only prerequisite is desire and whether they're willing to do the work. Now, I've got a few success stories of clients that I've been blessed to serve over the years. And you may have even seen these before, or some of these before. But I chose these ones for a reason, as you'll see, as it really relates to what we're talking about here today, and inspiring you to move into action as well, is because every single one of these people created success because they too moved into action. So Karen, she's a lovely young woman who lives here in Ottawa. She's a Canadian as well. And she sent me this message, and I wasn't even aware that she had become a millionaire, but she had been a student of mine. And I told her, like, you don't have to struggle. And she was a single mom, 2 young children at the time. And she was struggling. You know, she was a mom on her own, doing her own work. I think she was doing some contract work at the time. And I said, you know, Karen, it doesn't have to be like that. You can make a new decision, new choices. And so she was like all ears. Well, tell me how to do it, and gave her some guidance. And she sent me this message and she said that she has officially become a millionaire. Why? Because she decided to do something, to move into action. Dr. Vidya, lovely woman. She said that I helped her create freedom for herself, her family, and those she serves. And that only happened because Dr. Vidya moved into action as well. I think about Elle Newmark, who was an author, who had self-published her book. She went through some challenges because she really didn't know what she was doing. She could barely put an email together. And she decided that she was going to get a mentor. And I worked with her. And within 2 weeks of launching her book, she received advances for $2.475 million. Now, that's unusual, very unusual experience, but she was a new author and she got a home run right out of the park. Possible for anyone? Definitely. Onyx Singal, who is a very serious internet marketer, great guy. And he had been thinking about doing a book and he asked me to help him. And I said, sure, I'll help you with that. But what's unique about the way that Onyx had launched his book, he used a very creative approach. It's something that I'm teaching in our MSI entrepreneur program as well. And within the 2 weeks of launching his book, he generated 11,900,000. Again, unusual, but could somebody else do it? Definitely. I work with another guy who was a client of mine who actually did some online marketing and promoted somebody else's program and generated $25 million in revenue by promoting somebody else's program. Deborah Sky King, another client that I worked with, who I was a mentor for, and I explained to her, there's so much more that you can create. There's no limit to what you can create. You got to think expansively. And so I suggested, repurpose some of your material, some of the things that you're doing. And so she did. And in 27 days, it generated $113,000. But why? She took action. Jennifer McLean, a lovely woman that I work with, and she decided that she wanted to create an online conference with a series of interviews and implemented that based on healing, which was something she was very personally passionate about. She called it Healing with the Masters and generated over 7 figures in revenue from that. Nancy Tillman had written a lovely children's book, was very passionate about her book called On the Night You Were Born. And she wrote it, illustrated it, self-published it. And now she's generated over 5 million copies sold. So what does that equate to for her? Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Why? She moved into action. I introduced her to my agent. My agent got her a contract. The rest is history, as they say. Marie Forleo was a client of mine who, I remember meeting with her in New York, and she was very shy. She felt a little uncomfortable about doing coaching in the beginning, but she moved into action. Even though she felt the fear, she did it anyway and went on to create a multi-million-dollar business. She's been on the Soulful Sunday with Oprah. She's been on Tony Robbins' stage many times. And whether you know her or not, I think some of you may know her. She followed through. She took action. I was very blessed to work with her. Now, I want you to think about this. Do you create electricity or you simply plug into a power that's already there? I think this is such a simple idea, but yet a powerful idea. If you think about it, electricity is there. I came in my office this morning, I flipped a switch, it came on. Do you realize that you can flip some switches within you and have power? And you can be expressing this energy that's going to draw to you like energy, but it's understanding it. It's how to harness it. It's how to utilize it that's really critical to success. So where do you start? You start by deciding. This is where you start. You start by deciding. You make a firm decision. Now, this is where I'm going to bring in the lovely Vladdy. This is your cue, babe. Vladdy, it's so great to have you here with us. And I know, from results, Vladdy, you are the epitome of this, right? You took action. I think about how we even met. We met because Vladdy sent me an email. Now, I get a lot of emails every day, and I don't reply to all of them. If they come into support, Roddy replies to those. But Vladdy's email came into our office. I saw it. It got my attention, and I replied. And that's how we connected initially. Now, that would have never happened if Vladdy had not sent me an email. That's really where it came. So you made a decision. And that's how it started.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Peggy. And I'm going to start with being so grateful for you and everything that being the lighthouse, and I'll talk about decision, and it really what mentorship is showing you the light. It's showing you where to go, but not showing you what to see. Because each one of you has this greatest vision and goal and dream, and it's inside you. You know what you really passionately really would love. Now, I'd love to ask a question, each and every one of you. Do you have a very clear vision? You have a clarity on what is it you would love, or how Peggy and Bob says, a strong why. If you do not have strong why, you're very unlikely to go for it. And if you do, it's very short term. So you get dismotivated. And that brings me to decision. Decision I made, every day I say thank you to Vladi who said yes to herself. And I continue to do that all the time. But it's so much easier now, because once you really learn how to make decisions, you don't go, unless you obviously, we can always go backwards, but you're very unlikely to go backwards, because you must. And before I say that, it's just such an art to make a decision. It's like becoming a professional, knowing how to make the right decision is the key. That's why I'm so magnificently obsessed, like Peggy saying, with not just the materials, but actually decision is one of my strong desires to know more and more and more. And I was reading Decision with Roddy for 90 days. We actually finished, is it 2 weeks ago? No, even that, 10 days ago. Whoa, like every time you just keep going and do it more, and you are a different version of yourself every single day. And when people say to me, oh, but I've decided, Vladi, and I know the old Vladi would say, oh, okay, believing it, but I know what making a decision is, making it in the now, and it's changing your vibration. So many times we actually believe that, oh, I've made a decision to whatever it is, guys. It doesn't have to be just investing, but that is the best thing to do, actually, was investing in myself. And the way I grew up was give everything, give other people attention, give other people money, pay everything for our kids. But I kind of thought I'm doing the best thing by giving everyone more than myself. And it's really, you need to fill your cup first. What is it that every one of you would love to achieve? Like, have that clear vision. If you don't know, find out later, or think of it right now. And if you decide to go for it, you will make the decision where your left and right hemisphere of the brain actually creates a vibration. It releases a chemical that goes spirally around your body. And this chemical changes 70 billion cells. Now, I'm only saying it because I've heard that Bruce Lipton, who is the biologist, and he says we have 70 billion cells in our body. Can you imagine?
He was a client of mine too.
I know, because he hugged me and I told him who I am. So I had a great conversation, because he knows Peggy McColl. And, he was actually saying how Peggy really helped him to with the books, and this is what happens. How, when you make the decision to go for something, I said yes to myself emailing Peggy because I wanted to change. Okay, I had the health scare, and I had to make few decisions which were impactful, and I did not have. We never know how much time we have. Like, remember these guys all the time. As much as we're grateful for our health and everything, we do not know how much time we have. And as many of you knows, I love climbing, and I love the story of Sir Edmund Hillary, where actually that is my empowering decision story, which actually really explain how to make decisions. Is when he decided to go and climb Mount Everest, which never has been done before. Now, you know how many people go there now? You have to actually wait in a line to get up. He made a decision to climb. He asked his friend, William Murray, and he said, well, would you love to come and climb it? And he said, well, I don't have the money. He didn't even made a decision that, yes, I would love to do it. So they went up, they didn't climb her, and they came down, learned a lot. 2 years later, they went again. And Sir Edmund Hillary came again to Andy Murray, whose love and passion and desire was to climb Everest too. But again, he left his condition, which I'll explain in a minute, to run his desire and run his vision. And he said, well, I don't have the money. And they went up, nearly made it up, and then they didn't make it all the way up. So a year later, he comes again and he said, look, now we're going again and we are climbing her this time. Because last time I looked at her and said, you're not getting any bigger, but I am. And I've made a decision that I'm coming back and I'm climbing her. So would you love to join us? Now, William Murray actually changed the question. And this is how important is it to actually ask yourself the right question. He said, how much is the deposit? Now, by him changing, he knew that he had to sell everything he had to actually put that deposit down. And if he didn't come up with the rest of the money, which he had no idea how to come up, he would actually lose that money. But because he entered and he put his full himself forward, again, remember, now this is, you put your full yourself forward, so you changing that vibration and you change the magnetic field. So when Peggy talked about magnet, you become much stronger magnet. And now you are on the frequency where you're just going to attract anything and anybody and opportunities and people and seriously anything that you need to get up. And he did. They climbed it. They became the first people who ever climbed. He became millionaires. They were doing interviews. At that stage, he knew that he didn't make a decision from, oh, is it going to work out? How am I going to come up with the money? Otherwise, he would have never done it. And he would not have experienced what he did. You must make a decision from the highest point of yourself and not the condition, which is in you. So be unconditional. Now, what are the conditions? I don't have money. I don't have enough time. I don't have energy. Now is just not a good time. I mean, when I sent that email to Peggy, when I had that health scare, I actually quit my job. I had no money and I really had no idea how I'm going to come up with the rest. But that's similar. I didn't know the Andy Murray story then, actually. I didn't know the story, but it reminds me of the story. You must make that bold decision, because if you know how to use these materials, like we all know, like Peggy said, why is it implementation? We can have all the materials. There's so much stuff online. You can follow even Peggy's stuff online on YouTube. But what did Napoleon Hill say? The knowledge has to be organized. If you're not learning how to do this correctly, you can do all the affirmations all day, and so many people actually do them, and they say, I've been doing it for so long and I'm not seeing the results. Because you must learn. There is a science and a physics and everything. There you learn the laws, and if you know how to use it and apply it correctly, you will, by laws that are there and they're working all the time, whether you believe it or not, you will produce the result you desire. Well, why is these conditions holding us? It's the situation, circumstance, condition. They just almost glue us. So think of the law of polarity think of you, two of you. I always think of bloody, the successful, and bloody. I actually call it black and white because I like the diversity. So, it's just that, am I deciding from the black cloud, which is the condition, the circumstance, condition, situation, whatever it is from you, or are you making the decision from that person who you would love to be? And it doesn't matter what it is. Now, I'm not saying that the conditions are going to change in the moment you're making the decision, because it won't. By you enter different energy, you activate different energetic field, you are literally changing your vibration. And if you know what Peggy teaches, and she knows this from Bob, it's, remember the frequencies Bob used to show, like you are here and you'd love to get up here. Like, you don't have to know how, because you're following someone like Peggy with results, someone who's done it, who knows what they're doing. And that's actually a really important thing. Follow people with results. I mean, if you're following someone who's never done it before, okay, they can have the knowledge. And this is what we really see a lot. Like, people can learn the materials, you can repeat the quotes, but are you producing the results you really want? And when I met Peggy, I said to her, I'm great. And she said to me, I mean, the depth of understanding of the materials in such a short time you have, it's amazing. But I said to her, I don't see it in my physical results. And I wanted to see it in my financial, in my freedom, any kind of freedom. And that's what we all desire. We want time, financial, and mental freedom, each of us. So end of the day, you're here because you love us and you're learning from Peggy, and she's amazing.
We love them.
And that we love you. But you really are here for yourself, because you know you can be greater and you can achieve more. And every single one of you just wants to desire, would love to, not wants to, be more. Because if you are more, you can actually do better. But that decision is the committed, irrevocable decision, which actually activates everything. You will succeed, but you must make the decision yourself. And this is why we say, like, it has to be your commitment, and it has to be. We're here to serve. Peggy's over-delivering with every single person, but you're the person who has to step up and say, I'm doing it. Now, whether you pulled by burning desire, some people are, or by dissatisfaction, I was, and I know Peggy often talks about it, because if you allow the dissatisfaction stimulate your growth, like I call it push and pull effect, like use them both. Go for your desire, go for your why, and allow the dissatisfaction, like you would love more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, and maybe some of you don't believe it. And again, pay attention. Do you believe in struggle? Like somebody said, I don't believe it's easy. Peggy commented on it. It's your belief. How is that belief serving you? So that was how, when I started working with Peggy, I started noticing what beliefs I had. I didn't believe I can make money easily. I didn't believe I can change fast. I didn't believe in so many things, but I believe the materials work. I just didn't believe I can do that. And then you start getting better and learning, but decision, think from not from your condition. Remember, you can either create your life by design. So that's what Peggy is actually teaching, because it's all the steps. It's not one step. She showed the puzzle, right? You can't actually master one puzzle. I can be greatest at the decision and don't know the rest of the puzzles. I'm not going to actually put together the vision board of my dream. It's just all the pieces of the puzzles have to put together. And the more you learn, the more clearer and you're activating that picture, and it's becoming reality. But if you just do one, so you can be great in love and, I've mastered this, but really be honest with yourself. It's not, you don't even have to admit it to anyone. The most important thing is like, notice what you're noticing, the talk you're having with yourself, the beliefs you have. And that's why you creating the life by design, because the default is your beliefs, but I mean the beliefs that are not serving you, the conditions, the circumstances, and actually the paradigms. And Peggy teaches the habits and everything. That's another step. But remember, you are a queen and king, and it's my favorite part, I love talking about it, of your world. You cannot change anybody else's world, but you can change yours and become a ripple effect for everything and everybody around you. And when you do, if you're looking into that conditions around you to make a decision to actually go for your dream, you're taking down your crown and literally crowning the circumstance and condition, because you're not thinking from who you really are. It is, you have to really feel. If you don't believe it, believe us. Like I didn't believe in myself. That's why I borrowed Peggy's belief. Why does it work? Because it really is important somebody believes in you. When we believe in a kid, and it's like me being a mom, I now know, so I'm careful the language I use, not always perfect. So, like I have my moments, but it's so important you tell them, oh, I believe you can do that. They will do their best. And that's actually the key. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. And that was something I had to realize, because like I've seen few of you commenting, that was actually stopping me. I used to be too much controlling. Everything has to be perfection. I used to be such a perfectionist. And it was great for me. I thought it was a great thing to be proud of. And trust me, it's not. It's actually doing a progress and focusing on growth has created so many more results than me continuously aiming for perfection, which actually I was just stressing myself out. And in a way, it was controlling other people around me as well, because I expected everyone in my environment to be perfect too. So, it kind of like it becomes a ripple effect as well. So mentorship was the best decision I've made. And skipping levels, I call it my baby, but it's Peggy's baby. But if any of you on the calls, I'm introducing it as my baby, that it's not really mine, you know that. But I am so passionate because it changed me. I've changed myself. But the reason I love skipping levels is Peggy created something which and like she said, she followed many people. I followed many programs, but that was part it was really missing. Why was it missing? Because I needed to feel I'm good enough, I'm worthy, I deserve the abundance. I didn't believe that actually. And I had to change my self-image. And when you start from that self-love, when you actually do not change your worthiness, you don't feel you worthy and deserving, then at the end, investing in yourself, what is it? It's you. It's you going for, what is it costing me not to do this? That's the question I ask this day. Like William, when William Murray changed the question and stopped saying I don't have a money and said, what's the deposit? He was going for me, what is it costing me not to do this? And continuously watching people, it's not, we shouldn't compare each other, and that's how you give away your power. But really, I looked at other people and thinking, hold on. So in 6 months, they're achieving all this. What have I done in 6 months? Hoping that I will save more money and find more time and do everything. Nothing. I wasn't anywhere, but I lost 6 months of my precious time and life. Time is more precious than money, and money always comes. If you really do what you love and you're passionate about it, everything comes. But make the decision from the highest point of view. Don't allow the conditions, because if you actually decide from condition, that results you attracting. Even some of them might be what you think that they're great, but temporarily, and then you back into that paradigms pulling you back, and it actually becomes every time. What was it, Peggy? Brian did tell us at one of the calls when he talked about Bob said that you can actually create a habit of making wrong decisions, or undecisiveness. Is it undecisiveness?
Yes, undecisiveness. Yes. Or indecisiveness.
Indecisiveness, that's it. So you actually can become a pro at not making a right decision. Mm-hmm. And that is why I've decided to just study this subject
every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so good, Vladdy. I love that. Dawn had written decide from your future self, which is really what Vladdy's saying here. You make decisions from your future self, assuming that you're already there, even though you may feel the fear. Anyways, you do it anyway. I love what June wrote. I didn't realize June was with us here today. I love June. June is a private mentoring client of ours. I've been very blessed to serve her throughout the month of January. We're still in sessions together. And she wrote this. She said, I've been in the study for 7 years. I've made more progress in the last 3 weeks working directly with Peggy. And she chose to take one of the last remaining spots of the private mentoring. And I've been blessed to serve her, but I can't take credit for June's accomplishments, because June is a woman of action. We're talking today about implementation. She has been implementing 2D2, same thing, implementing. Janet, who I've been working with, the only reason is implementation. Other comments that were here, Pemba wrote down that she loves skipping levels. Pemba's a doer, right? She said this. Pemba wrote down, you must be committed. She's committed, right? She's a talented artist. She's an incredible being, and she's absolutely committed to her success. I love what Holly wrote there. I have such a success story just since I started attending classes here. The ideas just flooded in. I changed the energy and it just hasn't stopped since. And she's been attracting all kinds of exciting things in Holly's life. And her parents, Jay and Michelle, are in the programs as well as a couple, and brought Holly in. But, a lot of people would love everyone that they know, their loved ones, to get into the materials and get into the programs and join with me, but they don't. And, it's rare that you see that actually, but it sure is a blessing when a group of people can come in together, a couple like Connie and Alan come in together, and they're really, choosing to rise up, together. I love that. Vladdy, that was so very helpful and very valuable. I'll bring you on again at the end if you're okay with that. We're going to go back to our presentation now.
Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. All right. Okay, guys. Are you finding value in what we're doing here today? We still have about 41 minutes left together. Okay, good. Good. Just to thank you. Okay, I'm grateful for that. It's great to get inspired, but unless you move into action, it's really of no value. You'll be hungry in an hour or 2 hours or tomorrow. And unless you really do invest in yourself and apply, I know we've got a lot of our clients on these calls as well, which I love. I love Maddie's here. I see Maddie. She's a lovely young woman who made a decision to, take her passion. She's a wonderful woman and an incredible dancer. And she's decided she's bringing it to the world. You know, she lives just outside of Toronto, but there's 5 billion people out there that Maddie can be serving. And she, even though she had no idea, and I know for Maddie, it probably at some level felt scared or felt a little fear there anyways, but she did it. And she said to me, like, she'll send me these lovely, I've tears in my eyes just thinking about it. She sends me these lovely emails telling me about what a difference it's made in her life. And the reason why I get tears in my eyes is because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to contribute to you. When I hear Vladdy, like, I feel like such a proud mama. She's not my child. I call her my success daughter, and she calls me her success mommy. But I feel so proud. I feel proud of, you know, all the people that we're blessed to serve. And I know there's so much more that they can do and they can experience. And that's what I'm here for, is helping them accomplish just that. Okay, let's go back to our slides, and then we're gonna definitely be sharing with you the bonus that we created, or the gift that we created today for today, called Embodying Prosperity. So we're going to get to that. Just have a few more slides to go through, a short story as well, and then I'll share with you what the invitation is, and we'll give you the gift. Now, I really think that there's a number of rhetorical questions that are going to come up in the next little bit, like, would you rather reinvent the wheel or use a proven model? Well, obviously, you want the easy way. I noticed when Vladdy was sharing a few minutes ago, there was a comment in the chat box about laziness. And I think this is absolutely ideal for lazy people. Why? Because it's going to save you a truckload of time and show you the right way. So if you're lazy, then woohoo, I think you should celebrate, because you're definitely in the right place. You want to work hard or leverage the effortless way? Duh. Well, of course you want to leverage the effortless way. Who wouldn't want to leverage the effortless way? Seems like such a silly question, right? But you know what? The majority of the people out there, that's what they're doing. They're working hard, and they think all they have to do is what? Work a little harder. We see movies and TV shows where kids are told, well, if you work hard, you're going to get the rewards, right? How many times have we heard that? You may have heard it from your own parents or siblings or people that were taking care of you when you were younger. That's not necessarily the best way. Working hard or exchanging $1 for an hour is not the way you're going to build your fortune. You do want to look for the effortless way, and we can show you what that is. Another thing, another area where people are blocked and stuck, and they're hoping and wishing. But if you had the faith, if you had the confidence and the knowing that your success, because every one of you, your success is absolutely guaranteed. I want you to think about those words. Your success is absolutely guaranteed. I want you to own those words, write them down, put it in front of you, remind yourself that your success is absolutely guaranteed, but you got to implement to experience it. Would you rather work in the dark or realize there's a light switch so you can easily turn it on? I think about when I started my business. As you know, I didn't go to college or university. I barely made it through high school. I was reading my report cards earlier to you, and I didn't have anyone showing me how do you build a business or be an entrepreneur or do the marketing or how do you write a book or how do you create these online programs. I learned a lot of it on my own. That's why I do what I do now, because I don't want people to have to find their way or flounder around in the dark. I want to show them the light switch. I want to show them the easy way to produce the results. Now, we all think in frequencies. This is the way it works. So if you're thinking, and Vladdy really spoke to this as well, if you're thinking it's hard, if you're thinking this is going to be challenging, you're thinking you can't do it, you're thinking that, oh, I'll do it another time, you're residing on that old frequency, and you will stay stuck. But if you decide, I'm going to create a new future, an amazing future, a dynamic future, an incredible future, and you get on that frequency, get on that energy, having your thoughts and feelings feeling and knowing, and you're thinking as if that's already done, it's a different experience. This is where you're led to the way. This is where you will get inspired with the action. This is where you will be inspired to move into action as well. Now, everything that you need to succeed, either at the 8, 7, 8, 9-figure level, and I could have put 6 on here, but why think small, right? Somebody's already gone through it and accepted all the tools and paved the way. All you have to do is plug in and go. That's where I come in. I've already done it, been there, done that, got the t-shirt or t-shirts, many t-shirts, in fact. And so you can have help. You can get the guidance. And of course, it really is the mindset. Yeah, this is another area where I see a lot of people struggling. They think that if I just do more, well, yeah, doing is important. And that's what we're talking about, implementing. But part of the implementing is implementing the right mindset, a success mindset. That's the part that makes it easier as well when you have that success mindset in mind. And that's exactly what you want to do. And an important note about earning money is it's not about the money. Bob Proctor wrote a book called It's Not About the Money. But many entrepreneurs and celebrities go on a journey seeking wealth from a lack mindset, usually because of how they grew up. When they manifest wealth, shortly after, they're left feeling empty and find themselves on a never-ending, unfulfilling journey. Money is a tool. It helps you experience freedom and comfort, embody the principles of personal development, and create a prosperity mindset. And you'll be happy and fulfilled now and forever while you're experiencing the prosperity, filled with your purpose, and the change is permanent. You see, even though there's some people out there who may earn a lot of money, but they didn't get the right mindset, they end up losing it all. They find themselves at the end of their years and they're broke or destitute. Why? Because they didn't get the right mindset. Or people that go through financial challenges and then they end up jumping off a building. Why? Because they're thinking it's a permanent situation. It's not. It's just a temporary situation. It doesn't define you. You get to define you. Nobody else defines you. Your stuff doesn't define you. Does all this make sense to you? Is this really making sense to you? Are you gleaming, the understanding of this and what it really means to you? I know we've got people here that have been on these calls before, and some of you are destiny coaches. Some of you are already in these high-end programs, but a number of you aren't. And I really want to know that it's making sense, that it does make sense, because to me, it's very simple. It's a simple understanding, but not always that, easy to absorb because of the paradigms that are already there, because we're already programmed. Every single one of us are programmed. So I'm going to share a quick story with you, and then I'm going to get into the invitation, because this story really illustrates the point of implementation, of action. You may have heard the story before, but I'll tell it in a way that really speaks to the action. So here's what the story is. I had a desire to attract $1 million into my life. So if any of you have a desire like that, I would suggest you listen up. Okay, so my husband and I had been living in a home that we didn't love because of the location. We just didn't like the location. So we decided we're looking for a new home and put our home on the market. So I start looking online. I'm looking at different places, what's available. And I just made a list of the characteristics. What do I want? Okay, 5+ bedroom, 5+ bathroom at least, triple car garage. I want an acre of land. It had to be new or like new. I love new. I'm totally into new. And that's what I was looking for. So I'm just basically looking at what's available as it's coming up. And so I was looking online at the MLS site online, and then I found something. And I wasn't looking at the price range. I never put in the price range. So I don't put in, okay, it has to be this price range. Why? It's limited thinking. You only need to know, do you want it? What would you love? What would you love? I've been trained very well. I live by that. I'm looking at what would I love? I don't care about the price. Doesn't matter about the price. You don't need the money until you've made the decision. Okay. A great, valuable lesson that I learned many, many years ago. So I sent the listing to my husband, Denny, and he said, honey, did you see the price tag? And I'm like, yeah, I saw it. And he's like, well, it's about $1 million more than the one that we're in right now. And I said, yeah, so. And he's like, well, where's the money going to come from? And I said, wherever it is now. I mean, I really believe that. I believe we live in a prosperous world, and that whatever we need, we will attract if we make that decision. So a brief while I was thinking about it, and I thought, I'm going to come up with the money. And then I'm chatting with Bob one day. Bob Proctor is my friend and my mentor. And I told him about the house. And I said, it's about $1 million more than the one we're in. And he goes, well, $1 million's neither big nor small, Peggy. Only thinking makes it so. If you want the house, get the house. You're the only one standing in your way. And I'm like, duh, of course, I knew that. This wasn't something new. It wasn't new information for me. I understood that very well. All you have to do is get in harmony with what you love. You have to feel as if it's in your life right now. And that's what I did. And Bob said, well, you own a business. You know how to create programs, put them on the internet. Why don't you just create another program for $1,000? Well, I was already doing a program. I was already delivering a program. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. So then I got an idea. I got an idea to do a program with Bob. and it was called Making $1 Million Look Small. And so for 2.5 years, I incorporated another company, and we ran this program with Mary Morrissey and Gay Hendricks, the four of us. My husband used to call us the Beatles because there was 4 of us. And for 2.5 years, we taught this program. We taught an in-depth program, and we had live events, and on multiple occasions, we generated over $1 million just in a weekend from doing this. More importantly, the people loved it. It was transforming lives. Well, it transformed ours as well as a result of doing it. But what's fascinating is I did this part-time. Bob was doing it part-time. Mary and Gay were also doing it part-time. It wasn't our full-time work. We generated multiple millions of dollars by doing something, a project on the side. MSI, which stands for multiple sources of income. That's what we did. We brought together our talent and we just decided to do it. Now, as you're hearing this story, you might be thinking, whoa, wait a minute. Will that work for me? How many of you believe it would work for you? How many of you believe that? I'm just curious to see. How many of you believe, yeah, okay, there we go. I believe already has. Okay, good. Thumbs up, of course. So great. It will for sure. I believe me. You know, where does that come from? Where did that solution come from? Came from a goal, right? What was the goal? A house. Had nothing even to do with business. But what it does is it expands your consciousness in a whole new direction. You find yourself thinking thoughts that you never thought before. You find yourself doing things that you've never done before, right? This way you got to get connected to what it is that you would love. That's why earlier when Vladdy was saying, what's your vision? What is it you want? Why do you want it? It's important to understand that. You've got to know what you want and why you want it. And you don't have to struggle. It's end. We want to put an end to the struggle. No more disillusionment, no more overwhelm. Do you realize there's simply emotions that you choose? Don't choose them anymore. Now let's just imagine that we're going to go into the future. Not far in the future, just the short, near, distant future. And we're going to use our time machine. We're going to go there. And I want you to close your eyes for a moment, please. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes for a moment. Relax. Take in some deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, now let's go into the future. Let's go into your future amazing life. And you're here now, and you have everything that you desire. You're living the way you desire to live. You have the things that you desire to have. I'm sure right now you're seeing things, you're feeling things, you're imagining, and really be selfish. What is it that you want? You want multiple homes? Do you want multiple vehicles? Would you love to have millions sitting in your bank accounts? Would you love to do something really wonderful for someone else or for another cause? What would you love to be doing? Just think expansively. There's no limit. Would you love to have your own private jet that when you want to go somewhere, you just go to the airport in your limo, step out, hop on the jet, land where you want to land? Maybe you've got a home down the Caribbean. What would you really love? And when you're living in that freedom of knowing that you already have that which you desire, really feel it and embrace it right now. It feels so good. Whatever it is that you want, you can go with that place in your imagination and experience it right now in this very moment. Now open your eyes. Now what you did was you took a trip. You took a trip in your mind, in your imagination, and you can do that at will. You can do that at any time. You can do that throughout the day. And this is how you manifest, by getting in harmony with what you desire, feeling as if it's in your life now. And that'll move you into action. That'll inspire you to do some things that you've never done before. It's so exhilarating, and anybody and everybody can do it. Absolutely anybody. Now, if you don't have the belief right now, just know you can build it. It's something that can be built. Belief is a muscle. It's a muscle within you. And for most people, it's weakened. But all you have to do is work it and build it, and you can build that belief so strong. And this is what we do in skipping levels. We show you how to build that faith, how that unstoppable courage to do whatever it is that you want, and to get to the point of relaxing in the knowing your desire, it's in your life now. It's already accomplished. Just imagining every day waking up thinking about that, like, wow. You know, Vladdy talks about life breathing through her every day when she wakes up. I wake up feeling grateful, knowing that all of my dreams, all of my wishes are already in my life. Wake up smiling, feeling so good for the amazing life. When you do that consistently, it's only a matter of time before it shows up in your life. And I can show you how to do it where you don't struggle. You know, I went through years of studying and studying and studying and studying, and I was frustrated. I was going backward and I was going forward and backward and forward. And I realized some things. I realized how I was continually getting in my own way, and I stopped the insanity, got out of my own way. That's why I do what I do. I want to show you how you can look at your bank balance. You see more money in there than you ever know how to spend. How's that feel? Feels good, right? How many people are doing that? Tiny fraction of the percentage of the people on this planet. But you know how many could be doing that? Every single person, everyone, nobody, regardless of what the circumstances or conditions are in your life right now. You do not make decisions based on what your conditions are, or based on what your circumstances are, based on what your results are. That's what most people are doing. Well, I'll do it when I have the money. Or maybe next year I'll be able to do it. Now is the time. You might not even have a next year. You got to get away from that frustration, that overwhelm. It keeps you stuck. It's not an enjoyable place to stay. It's a frustrating place to stay. It's a destructive place to stay. And it will also create disease. It creates disease within you. So no more. It's all about ease. Now, some people might think it's risky, but that's where the rewards are. Is it really risky? I really genuinely believe, and I know this from experience because I've been doing it for decades, investing in yourself is the best thing that you can do. So if we look at this slide where it's showing an image, you can get in the maze and go the hard way and maybe not even get to the other side, or you can find a way to get over, right? Get around, get to the solution, the easy way by following the guidance, right? That's how I got to where I am today. I wouldn't be speaking to you today if I didn't have my mentors guide me all the way, and continue to through the master teachers that I still continue to study. They're my guide. They're my masters. They remind me. They show me how to live a better life. And life is meant to be lived in a wonderful way, magically, wonderfully. And you get to choose that. So stop doing the stuff that doesn't work. Stop the insanity. Stop the craziness and make a decision. We're going to show you the way, show you the solution. Maybe you are having some challenges in your life, and there's always a way to overcome it when you're committed. You've got to be committed. So where do you start? You start now by making a decision. You're going to do something about it. Where you may be feeling uncomfortable, because great things never came from comfort zones, but you're deciding, you know what? I'm doing it anyway. You could talk to any of the people that are on here who have thought about, should I not? Should I join the program? We've got a whole bunch of people that are here. I didn't ask them to be here. I'm grateful that they're here. Comments that they're writing in the chat box, I didn't ask them to put them there. I didn't ask for any of them. I didn't ask June to write that kind comment in there about how she's garnered more value in the last 3 weeks than she did in 7 years. She wrote that. I didn't even know June was going to be here today. I'm grateful June is here. But I can show you the way, me and my team. We're going to show you the way to the extra mile, but you've got to make the decision that it's your turn to prosper, because it is your turn, your time to prosper. So if you would like to find out how we can serve you, well, we can serve you. There's a couple different options for you today. This is what we're going to present to you today. The first one is we're opening up a few spots for private mentoring for the month of February. You don't have to sign up for a whole year. Let's just get you going in the month of February. We're going to have a bunch of calls together twice a week, starting with an hour call together. That's what I'm doing with June. That's what I'm doing with Tootie. So we've got a few spots that we're making available for February. And of course, skipping levels. As a matter of fact, June decided this morning she's joining skipping levels she's going to become a member of that. She's serious. She's already experiencing the results and has made a commitment to join. It's a 6-month mentoring program. And Roddy will put the links in the right-hand side so that you can check out both of those things in the chat box. But you may look at it and say, oh, that's a lot of money, Peggy. Well, is it? Relative to what? Relative to earning 6-7 figures or more, relative to finally getting unstuck, relative to overcoming the anxiety or the insecurity that you have. But what if financially your income exceeds $1 million or more, or like Dr. Yusi, triple your income? Is that a lot of money then? No, it's a bargain relative to other programs and the tools that you receive. But now is not the right time. I used to be a struggling single mom. I was a struggling single mom. I was still investing in myself. But time is the most precious resource everyone has. And the freedom is worth hours of your time that you're going to invest. So this gives you that opportunity to stop the excuses and to implement, to move into action. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not sure if I'll be any good. I felt the same way. You know, I came from, you saw where I came from. I read to you my report cards and shared with you the results of that. Told my parents I was writing a book, no support there, but I decided to do it anyway. And as a result, I've generated millions upon millions of dollars. And I've written 21 books, been on the New York Times bestseller list. May not be perfect, did it anyway. Now, I used to think, oh, I'm gonna need more information, until I learned that just usually results in more overwhelm. If you feel intuitively guided, this is how I make decisions, with my intuition, then take action now. You can get into skipping levels on a payment plan if you want. The private mentoring doesn't have a payment plan, but skipping levels does. So you could dive right in by just joining the skipping levels program and be on our next class. And so magic can happen along the way when you continue to expand what you know with each step that you're taking at the right time. Now, you may be thinking it sounds too good to be true, but we're going to show you a video in a minute that'll show you several people who took action. Ooh, sorry, ice fell off my house. They took action and created amazing results. So there's a lot that goes into it, and you're going to be amazed at what you can do as well. And we can show you how easy it is. Now, a mentor can potentially save you years of time and show you how to stop the struggle. So just compare. If you don't have the direction, or they don't have any guidance, there's no direction, no focus, could be an emotional roller coaster, financially limited, no solid plan, little confidence, getting nowhere fast, no feedback, could stay stuck. But with direction, you get, or with mentoring, you get direction, you get the focus. It can be a joyride to create financial abundance if that's what you want. Get feedback. I was doing feedback this morning for Tootie, a perfect and proven plan. Build confidence within you. There's no limit to what you can accomplish. Build a sense of knowing, have that faith, and get to where you want to go. So I was a single mom. I had parents laugh at me. Conditions perfect? Heck no. Educated? Nope. Experience? Nope. Did it anyway and produced results. Wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my house. Wrote my first book, didn't even know what I was doing. Seemed like a miracle at the time. Ended up with a garage full of books, didn't know what to do to sell them, but I learned what was important, how important that mindset is to success, how important it is to implement, to realize the results. You know, a lot of people think that, if I just do this, I'm going to get to where I want to go. You've got to have the right mindset first, and you've got to be implementing. That will really make the difference. So if you really want the results, we can show you how. This is really the serious of it. Now let's just talk for a moment. I'm going to finish up with this. This is the likelihood of success. Do you want to know what the likelihood of success is? This is staggering because there was a very detailed study done on whether someone is likely to succeed or not likely to succeed. So what they did was they worked with a group of people and determined the ones that succeeded and the ones that didn't. So here's how it went. It was done by the Brigham Young University, and they determined that if somebody said they were going to do something, there was a 10% chance they would do it. If they they said, yes, I'm going to do it, in other words, made a commitment, there was a 25% chance that they were actually going to do it. But if they said when they were going to do it, it moved up to 40% likelihood of success. When they set a plan of getting into action, it went up to 50%. You'd think that they'd be there by now, right? Then they commit to someone else that they're going to do it. That only puts it to 60. But where it takes a giant leap forward is here. They set a specific time to share their progress with someone else. They increase their results by 95%. This is the reason why private mentoring clients get better results, because they know they're going to be getting on a call with me. I ask them, what did you do? What did you accomplish? What will you do? What are you going to get done before the next time that we meet? You see, they're invited to share their progress. That's why June's saying that she's made more progress in the last 3 weeks. Why? Because of this. She's working with her mentor, me. She's sharing in her progress. She's moving into the work. She's implementing. And the chance of June succeeding, Tootie, any of you who do the same, likelihood 95% or greater. Of course you want those odds in your favor. Those are the kinds of odds that you want. So you realize the only one that's preventing you from experiencing the life you desire is a simple decision. A decision to do something about it now. Stop saying on the sidelines. Just say yes. You don't even have to know where the money's going to come from. Just say yes, you're in. You decide. You're going to decide either to go for one-on-one mentoring or skipping levels. But either way, make a decision today. I do want to say, though, that with the private mentoring, there's only 5 spots. So if that is something that you would love, that's it. Now, I don't know if we're going to offer it again or not. We may not offer it. We weren't going to offer it after we did it in June, but I'll tell you something. It was such an incredible experience for the people that I was blessed to work with. I decided to do it again. All right, Joanna's in. All right, who else is in? Who's made a very wise decision today that you're going to? Yes. Okay, good. Beautiful. All right, Beth, would love to work with you. Definitely would love to work with you. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring Roddy back on. Now, Roddy is an implementer, and many of you have met Roddy. I know many of you love to hear him speak. Okay, the private mentoring, Jamie, is private. It's me and you. That's it. It's the two of us. Yay, Kevin is coming into skipping levels. Wonderful, Kevin. We look forward to having you in. Hara is coming in. Wonderful, Hara. I look forward to having you in there. Perfect. Jeanette, let's do it, baby. Let's do it. I'd love to work with you. She's getting into the private mentoring as well. Keep in mind, there's only 5 spots for the private mentoring. So
one has actually just gone as well too. So we're actually down to 4 now, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're going fast. So Roddy, did you put the link in the chat box by any chance?
Yes.
Because if somebody's made a decision, that's the way I do it too. I'm that kind of gal. I make a decision, boom, I'm in. So Roddy will put the links in the chat box for you to check those things out. Beautiful. Thank you, Roddy. I really appreciate that. And Roddy, you're an action taker too. You know, I think about, you were working in a government job, had been there for 12 years, which was that the only job you ever had, like a full-time job as an adult?
I'd done, yeah, as an adult, yeah. So yeah, I was very much programmed in the 9-to-5 rat race, as I called it. I know that's just a perception, but that was how I felt about it. My parents had been in that rat race as well, so that was what they knew best. That's what I knew best. That was really how my program was my paradigm was programmed, was to do a 40-hour plus week. And when I came on board Peggy's team, or prior to that, there was a lot of discomfort. I will be honest with you. It wasn't something that was felt natural to me, being part of self-employed that I am now, or working for Peggy. So a totally different way of doing things, but it feels so good. It feels so good now. I'm doing what I actually want to do. I have the time. I'm earning more money now than I've done before, thanks to Peggy. I'm doing what I love to do, and that's a great feeling. There's no price you can put on that.
Well, you said thanks to me, but it's thanks to you. Just look in the mirror. Like, that's really, like, Roddy, I've been very blessed to serve with Roddy now for a couple of years. I've known him for longer than that, because Roddy was a student. He was a client of mine, in fact. And you see, I think anyone that's worked with us, they know the mentality that we have here, and that's a mentality to be of service and to give more and use value than they invest in as well. And I have found that I've attracted people that are like that. That's what Vladdy is. That's what Roddy is. I know Vladdy, she's willing to meet with you. If you're wondering which one should I go with, which program, what's the best one? Because I have mentioned others. I've mentioned our Destiny Coaches. I've mentioned MSI Entrepreneur as well. And maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure, which one. Book a call with Vladdy if you're curious about that, but don't book a call with Vladdy if you're not planning on showing up. We've had a lot of people do that. Vladdy ends up getting pretty busy with her appointments, and that's fine. And Vladdy's happy to meet with people, but if you do book a call with Vladdy, we just ask that you show up. And if you're not sure about the call, don't book it. Just don't book it. She's not going anywhere. She'll be available and she'd be happy to meet with you. But book the appointment if you intend on being on that call with Vladdy. Vladdy will help you, and there's no cost to the call. She's happy to invest the time with you to help you determine what's the best fit for you, which is the best program for you. That's what she does, and she understands them all. She's got some faves for sure. She mentioned skipping levels, her favorite, and I can understand why, but she's very equipped to talk about the other offerings as well and what might be the right fit for you. And maybe it's not the right fit for you. Maybe it's not the right fit for you. And if it's not, she has no hesitation in telling you that. And we've had discussions sometimes where, there have been people that have talked to us about our program and we just felt maybe not the right fit. And we're very comfortable with saying that as well, if it's not the right fit. So no obligation. Roddy put the link in there. Plus, we do have a replay page for you. And on that replay page, we'll definitely put the links there for you, for the programs and for Vladdy. So you can book an appointment with Vladdy. And then Roddy, we need to give them the Embodying Prosperity program. So what Roddy's going to do, I really appreciate you guys for hanging in here for sure. And this is going to be a program we're giving to you. We will be selling it. As a matter of fact, we've got another marketing member of our team who's getting everything ready to sell this program. We're giving it to you. And it's called, there we go. Roddy just put it there. So what I suggest that you do is click on that link and then bookmark the link. Okay. So Roddy just put it there. Oh, thank you, Tootie. Tootie just wrote, I feel like each day is a gift because Peggy shines her light into the places we have shuttered, and her dedication to our growth is so passionate and gives us the warmth we need to grow into our purpose. I really appreciate Tootie writing that comment, but here's what I want to say about that. And I always get goosebumps with Tootie because of her energy. Tootie says that because that's what she sees, right? Tootie is saying things because of the way that she views the world. Tootie's a light. And I know anyone that knows her would agree with that as well. And all I'm doing is helping her shine her light brighter. That's it. That's what I'm here for. I want for you what you want for you. And that's what I want for Tootie as well. She is a sweetheart, Leanne, and so are you. Like, oh my goodness, Leanne, you shine brightly as well. There's another extraordinary woman, another goosebump experience I'm having here. So, I really feel, Roddy and Vladdy and Kayla and I are so blessed. We're so blessed. Like, I give thanks for you guys every single day. We take this very seriously. We will stay up late. It's late for you, Roddy and Vladdy. It's going to be even later for Roddy because he still has to get the replay already. But we'll do whatever it takes, to help you experience the success that you desire to experience, because we know there's so much more for you. We know there's so much more that you can be experiencing in your life, but it's up to you. It's like Tessia. Tessia was blessed to work with in a private mentoring capacity. And what a blessing she is, like incredible, but she stepped into it. She made a decision. She's shining her light in the world as well. So we're looking forward to helping you do the same. So I want to thank you. We've got a video that we're going to share with you just in a few minutes, and it's about 15 minutes long. These are the people that we've been blessed to serve over the years. I want you to watch this video as well as we wrap up today. And I want to thank you for your undivided attention, for being here. And for those of you that have made a decision that you're, taking this to another level, that you're going to choose to be a part of the implementation age, because this is what it is. It's people that have made a decision. They are implementing, they're learning, they're going to understand, they're going to implement, and that's what we're going to do together. So thank you. Thank you, Vladdy. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Roddy. And Roddy, put the link in the chat box there. Make sure that you grab it, and we'll leave it on there for a little bit while we're sharing the video with you, our final thank you video with you as well. And for those of you that are joining Skipping Levels, I look forward to seeing you in the program, and our existing members as well. And anyone who's taken advantage of our private mentoring, I look forward to working with you throughout the month of February as well. Thank you, everyone. All right, Roddy, I'll let you take it away and share the video.
You know, about 35 years ago, I was living in Atlanta, and I was called to Ottawa, Canada, to speak at a company. There was a young lady in that meeting. She was a junior clerk, but she was a troubled junior clerk. She had mental problems. She wasn't happy with what she was doing, and in different areas of her life, I suppose. And I said, you cannot escape from a prison if you don't know you're in one. And you know, like that, it caused everything to come together in her mind. She was keeping herself in a mental prison. She started to study our material. That was 35 years ago. Today, she is one of the best. We bring her to all of our top events because we want everyone to be able to know what this woman does, and she can help them. She was broke when I met her. She's a multimillionaire today. She's world famous, and now you know her.
She has been for me a true inspiration from the perspective that she has made me believe that I didn't need any particular training, any particular mindset other than open, and any particular preparation to put together a book that is very special to me at this point in my life, but also to believe that there are opportunities out there that we don't always see for ourselves, but others see for us.
I was stuck. And you know, when a car is tires are stuck in mud and you just keep spinning and spinning. That was just me. I was just spinning and spinning. And with your nurturing and your help and your mentorship, I got there. I started to understand. I even ended up having a business. By the end of the year 2021, I actually made 6 figures. From 0 to 6 figures. I didn't even know I made 6 figures. I started filing my tax return. I'm like, oh my God, I've achieved a goal. And you said, set goals, set goals that will stretch you. From coming from 0, that was a stretch. You know, that was a stretch.
We've learned a lot of things working with Peggy, and it's helped us significantly advance out of that stuckness, if that's a word, or the doldrums. So that has been very, very, very helpful.
Thanks to Peggy, I was able to gain the confidence and knowledge to pursue my dream. The best part of the process was Peggy. She's genuine, easy to work with, and always interested in what you're doing.
And I made that call. I was terrified to do it. And I'm so glad that I did, because this year has been an extraordinary year for me. And I'm so glad that I had Peggy.
Working with Peggy made me a happier person, and it also gave me more purpose in my life.
Opportunities came into my life that I never expected to add them to a bucket list. I became 3 times international bestseller in 1 year. I got hosted in 2 international magazines, appeared on probably 8 podcasts, 6 summits. I'm so honored for all the other possibilities that have opened up to me, all the people that I have been introduced to and got to know and enjoy. It's been such a blessing. If you want to make a change in your life, your business, check out Peggy McColl.
I'm a better person. I have a better attitude. I'm happier. I'm healthier. All of the things of my life have improved. And that's, you can't even put a price on that. So how much are you worth? How much are you willing to invest in yourself? Not just for the money, but for the time and the effort and the focus that it takes to learn the material and implement it into yourself and to practice this in your life.
And I asked Peggy to mentor me. I believe that, you know, when you want to do something, you need to find someone who has already done what you wanted to achieve and follow their footsteps, and she really guided me the whole way. And I remember her and I doing Skype sessions like early in the morning, and helping me really get structure around my book, and just to get it going. And then once the book was completed, she told me how to get it out to the market through like publishing and the editing process, and then also how to become a bestseller. That was my goal, is I wanted my book to become a bestseller. So she really works with you every step of the way. She's one of the most genuine, caring, authentic people I've ever met. Always has a smile, so giving and so passionate about having others. So I can't say enough about her. She's just a wonderful person, and I'm forever grateful that I've had the pleasure of meeting her and also working with her.
We started working together 4 months. 4 months to the date, I became an international best-selling author.
One of the first things that happened, it wasn't a couple of weeks, and Freya got a very large donation from somebody that we had never heard the name of. This is somebody that knew Bob Ensman in the 90s. Now, we've known Bob Ensman for 40 years, never heard of this man. This was just out of the blue. He came and gave us a very large donation. And
Peggy is fast like the wind, make everything so easy and simple for you. She moves things forward. She is really a doer. Learning from Peggy will shortcut your way to your results. Thank you so much, Peggy, for this amazing experience.
That thing that I wanted so badly, within 3 weeks, I received it. Something that I would have taken me years, because I don't need to know how.
I just wanted to see incredible changes, really different results. I literally quantum leaps. I really wanted to have a different life, the life that I always wanted. You will definitely see your results in your life changing massively. But you will have to implement everything she is teaching you. You do that? Done.
I've become a better person. I'm not this angry person anymore. I've become a better mom, a better wife, a better sister, a better daughter. I'm just an all-round better person.
I realized the real important parts I need to install a real successful life in abundance. And so Peggy is the one who can really bring you to the point to be a great coach and to support others, and to do it with love and gratitude.
Just do it. You won't regret it. I promise.
I love saying what I'm going to do that month and then having to show up 4 weeks later and say what I did. Mm-hmm. So I think that's wonderful. That type of accountability, people need that. All people need that. And we love it. And we have gotten so much from it. And, we have attracted so many good things into our life this year. We were able to actually attract enough money into our lives that we joined another very expensive program of Peggy's. And now I am actually coaching one of her programs for students. And I have combined it with real estate so that I have real estate and mindset together. And this is just phenomenal, and it is really taking off. So I love it.
Every step along the way, as I was questioning things for myself and as I was expanding my thoughts, she would always bring me back to the potential within myself. And it made my year just really quite extraordinary.
Being under the guidance of Peggy and her incredible hunger to draw out the best in me was the catalyst and biggest reason behind my success story. Peggy is super personable, and her passion for serving others comes oozing out of her every being.
I approached Peggy. I did not care how much her coaching was. I had made that decision. I needed to do this. And boy, am I so grateful to Peggy, and I'm so grateful to myself, first of all, for making that decision and, asking Peggy to coach me. So Peggy stood by my side for the next 7 days. She was there whenever I needed her. She just gave me what I needed. She gave me all of the information. She pushed me forward when I needed that little bit of a kick. And 7 days after, we had a book.
I feel like it would probably take me years to try to, I want to say, research. And here was packaged what information. I mean, my mind was spinning of information just because there was so much. And it was, I think practical is the word.
But I can truly say that the day I met you, my life changed. Because with your expert guidance and mentorship, I was able to take something I had a passion for and turn it into success.
I met Peggy a year ago, and it has been a wonderful journey with this astounding lady who has taught me that the world is definitely a smaller place.
I also realized that I needed to stop trying to understand how to get everything done myself and just let the universe take it as I set the goals. And I learned about Power Life script, and I do that, and I listen to that every night. I can't even count the numbers of things that have happened that I did not have any control over. It's been incredible for both myself as an author and for Freya as our company.
I can tell you that she has helped me see things that I didn't know were there. Very simple, subtle things that made all the difference in the world.
Possibilities and seeing, wow, this is so possible. And it's not as hard because she talks a lot about getting out of our way.
I was able to write my first book, which quickly became an international bestseller. Yep. Thank you, Peggy. You're an amazing, amazing, amazing lady.
I relocated to the United Kingdom. I visualized the kind of home that I want before relocating. I don't even know I'm going to get the money. I just said, okay, this is what I want. I just need to visualize. I do that all the time. I have famemates. I move around as if I'm already living in that house. And eventually, when I move into that my dream home, I was like, wow, life is good. You know, sometimes I would just think about if I didn't make that decision at that time, where would I have been?
Peggy immediately became my personal mentor and coach, and by applying her methods, my book Transforming Vibes, Transforming Lives became a bestseller. Then Peggy encouraged me to continue to create online programs using the main topic of my book, frequencies. Now my income has quadrupled in 20 months, and my programs and soundtracks are being used to help people with depression, Parkinson and dementia, and tested in medical trials in several countries in Scandinavia. What I enjoy the most working with Peggy is feeling her dedication, passion, and love in every step of the way as we work together to make all my dreams come true.
It is worth jumping in both feet. You will never regret it. She over-delivers on everything that she talks about. That's the one thing I really love about Peggy. She really over-delivers. So jump in, enjoy.
If you are looking for the best and helping to develop your best you so that you can skip levels effortlessly, then you're in the right place. Because that's who Peggy is. She is that, literally. And she's so disciplined. Her years of focus has helped her to hone in on things and basically push out the paradigms that are in the way to help you express that true version of you, which was meant to be expressed into this world.
It is by far the most valuable thing I've ever done, and one of the biggest reasons as to why I today have a global company with about 15 people on my team. But that's not an accident. It's through mentorship that has made that happen. And she will do the same and more for you.
Thank you so much for being in my life, and thank you so much for opening the doors and the floodgates to being this new person that I love being.
If you're out there and you're looking to maybe make your life better, make more money, be healthy, what kind of changes would you like to have in your life to make your life more like what you'd love it to be? I wouldn't hesitate to invest in yourself, because I'm a different person now than I was just 6 months ago.
Better yourself, give it a chance, go for it. What do you have to lose? Remember, the best investment is in yourself. You're going to reap the benefits of this over and over and over again. That's the case for us, and so we ask you to do the same thing. Good luck. Go for it.
I would think no longer. Stop procrastinating and make the best decision of your life, just like I did.
She is no doubt the best coach. And if you ever have a slight doubt to go ahead with this, to proceed, just do it. Just make the decision and do it. You'll feel so much better about yourself.
I have received from her immeasurable gifts, love, support, encouragement, and knowledge. This woman is, once upon a time we used to have encyclopedias, they don't exist anymore, but if you could take Google and you could funnel it into one human, this woman is the Google.
Don't wait till one day. There's no point in waiting. The time is now. If you are serious, if you are ready to take your life in the next direction, then this program is for you.
So make sure you get to work with Peggy. Your future self will thank you. And I'm grateful on your behalf because I know how much you'll get out of it.
Perfect. Well, thank you once again, folks. Hope that was a real sense of inspiration for you. Some absolutely phenomenal testimonials there. We would love to help you in your next step of your journey. So please keep in touch with us. You're very welcome to email us, support@peggymccall.com. You've got the links there already to either join the program if you're an action taker and you just want to go for it. Vladdy's here as well to support you. So thanks so much. It's been a wonderful 2 hours and 10 minutes. We really look forward to serving you again and seeing you in one of our programs.
Thank you so much, Roddy. And thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you. All right. And Tootie, I look forward to working with you some more. Congratulations. She signed up to Let's Carry On. That's an example of a successful person right there. So I'm looking forward to that. And I really appreciate all of you. And we'll see you again real soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.